Nostalgic America in 1964, with a 16-year-old girl and boy. I guess we're going to spend some long weekends in Galena.
I guess so.
If he lived in Galena, why would he still deliver it to that historical society there? For chances are someone would connect it to the great library and find him.
He was too ill to travel far, and since there were no more of these deliveries, it was all thought to be a hoax. Then no one pursued it and him.
The teacher is dead.
His sister might have known of that.
Which means that he changed his name?
We're stumped again, so close.
Yet so far. In Starved Rock Park, we walked the cliffside trail to the rock that was starved, meaning that it stood all alone.
For some humans, being alone could mean that one was in bad company.
Yet I would hope that one alone would never be lonely, since one would still be with their best loving friend.
Today we were together alone together, but as soul bridged to soul, standing on the rock of the Illinois River near the Iowa border.
When I was 6, I sat on the edge of this cliff, my legs dangling, my mother holding on to me. There are 18 canyons formed by glacial melt and stream erosion. Horses took Joanne and me 8 miles out and back on a sunny autumn day. Meanwhile, we had found an old and ancient churchyard, a large one that yet yawns to receive the deceased, as it has for 300 years. Real cobwebs stretched across the archway. Angel statues beckoned us in, but were really just there to carry forth the souls of the dead to the heavens. An inscription read, "All the world's wealth can't extend the power.
That drains the cup and withers the flower."
What would be the price of a moment's breath purchased from death's hand at this final hour? For several centuries, the library had served as the greatest treasury of learning known to the world and successfully escaped any threats of destruction. What eventually happened to the greatest collection of knowledge and wisdom of the ancient world, as well as the sculpture and the tomb of Alexandria, is unknown. But the beginning of the end most certainly began with Caesar's arrival in 48 BC. There were many reasons for me to visit Alexandria: to collect debts, to gain political prestige with Egypt by settling a dispute over the will of Cleopatra's father, Ptolemy Auletes, which had created friction between Cleopatra and her brother Ptolemy, and to enjoy the culture and civilization of the world's most literate and aesthetic city. I offered Julius Caesar, the present-day master of the world, a great gift of hundreds of rare scrolls and art objects from the library and museum. A banquet was scheduled to celebrate agreements to the will. As Cleopatra and her guests reveled, Ptolemy's general Achilles seized the opportunity to attack the palace with a force of Egyptian soldiers and slaves. I sent for reinforcements, but realized the Egyptian navy would cause the Roman ships difficulty in rescuing me. So I ordered some of my remaining soldiers to sneak into the harbor and throw burning torches onto the Egyptian ships containing the treasures. His gift from Cleopatra was destroyed, as were books stored in warehouses along the waterfront, but Caesar escaped with his life. It was estimated that 40,000 books were lost. We pored over the microfilm of newspaper obituaries at the Galena Public Library, finding nothing for the first month, and then going into the next one, and the next. Just says he was a teacher near Chicago and a geologist with one sister surviving.
I think I found it. It's under an alias, Augustus Alexander.
Holy Christ, that's him. With a Latin Roman first name and the library as his last name.
The obit is so short, but it's totally revealing.
Maybe that's all he could put. He suspected that he might die, and so he wrote his own obituary just ahead of time.
And he took his secrets to the grave.
Maybe. We found the remains of his house in Galena. It was scheduled for demolition because it was such a rundown eyesore. Where are the treasures?
I'm sure we're standing on them right here under the lawn.
That's the only place they would be safe.
Let us go inside and root them out.
And then donate them to the world's knowledge.
For sure, but we'll spread it around so it doesn't get lost again.
Our hearts skipped a beat when we saw it. There's a scroll wrapped in bronze on his desk,
It looks as if it might fall apart if we even took it out.
which is why it is back in its tube. We explored the basement with a flashlight. There was nothing apparent, just a furnace, much empty space, and a coal bin room which we looked into, finding it musty, with a few inches of coal, a rolled-up rug, and a lot of cobwebs everywhere. We stood dejected, then went out to dinner, hoping it would recharge our brains. We to return later.